Okay, we are on the southeast side of the house in front of the south gate. Rain gutters should not discharge so close to the house. The lawn sprinkler heads should not be closer to the structure than 4 inches. These are called weep holes. Those are good things. Okay, brick. It's a great product. Alright, it's fireproof. This house could burn down and you could still use the brick. It's a great insulator. That's why we like to use it. And for the most part, it's maintenance free unless the house needs a little pointing, repointing like this one happens to need. But it's a great product. But one thing about this brick is that it's porous. Water shoots right through it. All of our waterproofing is on the other side of this brick, which we can't see. But the lawn sprinkler heads, it's designed to leak. That's why we have the weep holes. They allow vapor. Most of the time you just see vapor coming out. You can see water come out if there's an event or something, but most of the time only vapor comes out. You won't be able to see that. When your lawn sprinkler heads are so close, that just puts more water into the structure than the home was designed to have. Okay, bushes should not be this close to the house. Okay, this bush, see the trunk? Is that wider than 3 inches? It is, and that's a holly tree now. It's not a holly bush. It's not a holly bush any longer. So this is too close. The lawn sprinkler head is too close again. Coming on along, we got double pane aluminum frame windows. We've had a lot of distress here, hail damage. You can see it on the screens as well. Most of these windows are fogging. Okay, what does fogging mean? It means we got double pane metal frame. You do not lose any security. You do not lose any energy. Some people argue that you lose energy. You will not be able to measure that. It's ugly, and the Texas Real Estate Commission has deemed this as a deficiency. It's broken. It's not just your home, it's your home investment. 10, 15, 20, 35 of these windows. At least 35 of these windows are fogging. Most, if not all, of the seals are broken or compromised. Several of these screens are torn. Moving along, a tree should not be closer than 25 feet to the house. Should not be closer than 25 feet to the house. And these weep holes that I was talking about that are so nice, that is the drainage plane. And we have a lintel underneath the window. See the semicircular window? It doesn't have a lintel. But when you install a lintel like this that supports the brickwork, you've created another drainage plane. And these weep holes here should also be above the lintels, and they were not installed above the lintels. Along in our portico here, anytime you have an electric receptacle outlet, anytime you have an exterior light fixture, we're going to get to the receptacle outlets here in a moment. But these light fixtures, these carriage sconce light fixtures, they should be sealed to help prevent moisture from coming in. We got a little bit of cracking right over here over our semicircular. We got a little cracking right there. We don't have any weep holes. Fogging on the side light. Anytime you have an exterior receptacle, okay, it should have an in-use cover. If you plug this in, it doesn't look like it's ready to be plugged in. If you plug this in, that'll have to stay open. If it stays open, it's no longer weatherproof. It's no longer weatherproof. Moving on along, more fogging windows. We've got space between. See that? Now look over here. The semicircular arch. You see the space between the frame and the brickwork? We've got some space between the frame and the brickwork. It's my understanding that this home has experienced some foundation repair. Okay, so what we're looking for now is stability. What we're looking now is for some stability. Coming along here, see the siding? It's coming over your portico. It's not supposed to be in direct contact with the roof covering. It's not supposed to be in direct contact with the roof covering. I see how the roof is by design. The rain gutter is not supposed to discharge water directly onto the roof covering, because you can see right now it's aging faster than the rest of the roof covering. And then by the design of this, it shovels all that water into that corner. Okay, it's called a dead valley, and it's problematic by design. Nobody's going to change that, I think. Nobody's going to change that. It doesn't mean it's any better. Got one over here as well. Moving on along. See these cracks right here? Okay, those are called shrinkage cracks. Some people call them corner pops. Call them what you will. Alright? If it's in the span of a hand and it's going down this way, that's not a foundation issue. It's not a foundation issue. It might be a brick issue. It might be a termite issue, where termites can go up into the cracks like that. It might be a brick issue because that's holding up the bricks. But if it's in the span of a hand, it's going down like that, that's not a foundation issue. And then these cracks over here, they're not in the span of a hand, and they're not going down there like that. But all across this part of the foundation, we have a parge coat. It's like a cake frosting. And just because the cake frosting's cracked doesn't mean your foundation's cracked. Alright? And just because it's not cracked doesn't mean your foundation's not cracked either. But that's just the nature of the stuff. And termites, that creates voids because it's two different. And so termites can crawl up in there and come into your house uninvited, undetected, unnoticed. So that'll make the termite report. This one is so nice and pretty, straight up and down. He's a little more of a concern to me. But I still can't tell what's behind there. More parge coat, more parge coat, more parge coat. We got some cracking here, stair-step cracks, horizontal crack between the brick and mortar. Another window that's fogging. Several windows. This crack coming down this side right here. We have a whole video about all this stuff right in here. More parge coat, more parge coat. Coming on along. Driveways are beyond the scope of this inspection. Alright, but this guy's settled enough. At 3 inches, that's a trip hazard. At 3 inches, that's a trip hazard. That's cracked right there. Yeah, will you be able to get some more utility out of it? Yes, you will be able to. You could live like this. A lot of people do. Come over to my house. My house is not for sale. You shouldn't have to live like me. But you should know that this is a potential trip hazard. You should know that the driveway's broken, and you should know that sooner or later you're probably going to want to deal with it. Even if it's selling the house, you might be negotiating with the new owners. We got a little bit of wood rot right in here. Check that out. You know why we got that? It's because this siding, this casement is in direct contact with the cement, and then the water wicks up in it. It doesn't help that the rain gutter shoots water right out on top of it, and so that causes it to rot prematurely. It's happening a little bit over here as well. Rain gutters should not discharge water so close to the house. The fence, okay, that's conducive to wood-destroying insects by design. We're going to do a termite report today, so, by design, people want fences. So the termite report is the fence within 6 feet of the home. So this part of the fence, it's conducive by design. It's not that attractive. But we get the fence over here in the alley. Let's try this a little bit. Bonus round. This is all previous termite damage. This is all previous termite damage. Too far away from the house. And it doesn't seem to be active today. I do not know who treated it. I do not know what they treated it with. I do not know when they treated it. I don't know if it's an approved treatment. I don't know if they're coming back or not. I don't know anything about this damage. You want to talk to the seller about it, because obviously termites just don't give up. They don't decide one day, they say, you know what, I'm kind of tired of this, we need a new house. They'll keep going till that house is gone, and then they'll move to the next house. So something happened here. Now this is a railroad tie retaining wall. It's farther than twice its height. It's a 45-degree angle from the house. So in principle, in theory, this retaining wall should have no effect on the foundation. Okay, so it is beyond the scope of this inspection. But retaining walls, like fences, they have about a 14-year service life average. This is as pretty as this retaining wall is ever going to get. It's starting to bow, it's starting to move, it's starting to show some rot. Okay, in a few years, somebody's going to be dealing with this retaining wall. And not very many few years either. I hope you get 4 years. I hope. I don't know, I hope you get more. Got a little bit of movement between the case right here. Alright. paving stones are beyond the scope of this inspection, but these paving stones are not dimensionally uniform. So that means when you bring your mom over to check out your new house, you might want to just like kind of hold her by the arm and kind of help her around. You know, I don't know how many times or how many people are going to come back here, but in the meantime, I mean, this looks like, honestly, this looks like my backyard. Again, my house is not for sale and you shouldn't have to live like me. This is not dimensionally uniform. And the older I get, and I'm getting old fast, the older I get, the more I notice that these are not dimensionally uniform. We have a whole video about this coming up, alright? And I'm not pleased with it. I just don't like this guy at all. I think he's dangerous. I think he's an attractive nuisance. I think you should budget for removal. Okay, and replacement. I understand why you'd want one. Bushes touching the house again. Moving on along, we got some movement around these windows, movement around these windows. Got a little bit of erosion right here because the rain gutter doesn't discharge water far enough away. The tree's still too close. Moving along here, we got some more torn screens, some more fogging windows. And right here, look at there. I just checked that out. See that little dot right there? I don't do dots. I don't do dots. But another home inspector's been in here. Somebody knows about these windows. Alright, this fence is leaning over to your neighbor's house. I don't know if it's your neighbor's house or your fence. Alright? It kind of has the appearance that it might belong to this property. I don't know. Or it might be shared. But if this is leaning like this, okay, this is going to be, you know, and it belongs to this house, that's going to be a responsibility. Okay, I didn't show this to you, but right outside that little dog house, that little niche right there is where the gas meter is, and it looks fine. This is where the gas enters the house, and they've got a little tape right in here. Alright, but the tape's all cracking and peeling, so this should be painted to help prevent it from corroding and going into the house. This is the main disconnect for the gas into the house. It requires a wrench, and for whatever reason, I don't know, but that's acceptable. It's not acceptable on water. It's not acceptable at the appliances. It's not acceptable for the water, for the electricity, but that's acceptable for the gas. Here we are on the south side of the house. This is the kitchen window. We've got a little bit of wood rot right in here. We've got you know, some torn window screens. I think some hail has really done a job. This is the broken window, the kitchen window right there. So at one time, this looks like, and I don't know, I'm kind of hoping, this looks like we put control joints here. We should have had control joints, and it looks like we did. We don't have any control joints on the other side. But, and you know, by the way, Trek is performance based. So, but it looks like they improperly sealed, whoever it is that they are. Okay, it looks like they've been improperly sealed with mortar, and that mortar's cracking. We got some stair step cracks. This is the kitchen vent fan, and it's sprung open. Okay, that's supposed to have a backdraft flap. Moving on, and that's gonna, well, let's back up. That's supposed to have a backdraft flap. Let's move around here for a moment. Just a moment. Let me back through here. This is nice. Alright. See the fireplace? The fireplace chimney, okay, the sides are not supposed to be touching the roof covering. And see that little hood right there? That's the fresh air induction hood. Okay, the code says that that hood should not be any closer than the firebox down here. Now that'd be impractical to put it down here. Another thing about code, it says the manufacturer's listed in specifications supersedes code. So if the fireplace manufacturer says that it's okay to put that vent up there, then that supersedes code. But until then, that vent is too high, and I don't know how to fix it. Okay, let's go here just a little farther. We can see that the water heater, come on, kind of get it focused. The water heater flue cap is bent. We've got, this is roof, I get it. We've got right there in the valley, we've got a vent pipe, a plumbing waste vent pipe in the valley that's going to cause leaks. We have a plumbing vent pipe right there. and that's supposed to extend at least 6 inches through the roof covering. We've also got, this is one type of vent, this is another type of vent, this is another type of vent. At the front of the house I saw I'll show it to you, a gable vent. The code seems to think that you shouldn't have a mixed vent system, that could be counterproductive or counteractive to the house. So we've got mixed vents. Right in here we have some high soil conditions. We're back around here, back to the kitchen window, back to the kitchen vent that caused me to go back around there. Moving on along, we've got some bathroom windows. Of course we do not have the weep holes again. We don't have the weep holes again. So. Right here. I knew I'd find it. Alright. Check this out. I have abandonment issues. We've got shingles, we've got fascia board, and that's sofa board. But between the fascia board and the shingles, we've got that little white strip right in there, that little metal strip that's called edge flashing. In this case, it's rake edge flashing. And sometimes it could be drip edge flashing over here, for example. So we got some rake edge flashing right there, and it's not supposed to be lapped less than 2 inches. I get it, the statistical relevance or whatever. I'm just telling you what the manufacturer says, is it should not be lapped more than 2 inches. Should be lapped at least 2 inches. There you go. And we're coming around on the other side of the fence. This is where we started, but I also wanted to go around and catch that, because remember just a moment ago we were talking about the attic vent system. And then we've got a gable vent right here. A gable vent. And we also got some flashing that's not properly lapped right up in there.